We all love listening to the wizard spend 3 minutes trying to decide what spell to cast before being told that it will break their current concentration and then they have to start their thought process all over again. I promise I'm not just bitter about spellcasters, honest. I've seen a rogue take at least that long to decide who to sneak attack, and then that long again trying to decide how best to run away like the brave little soul they were. And we all do actually love being toe to toe with a super tough enemy, just managing to grind out a win before they summon more reinforcements and overwhelm the party. One of the big questions of being a DM is what to fill the time between these fights with. Or I guess whether to fill it at all. You could probably run a campaign of just fights where you assume everyone is fully rested at the start of each one. It might be a little intense, but it might be quite fun. It's good to have some downtime, to have some time to slap out the old roleplay where possible. But there's also plenty of things in between the madness of combat and the probably also madness, if my groups are anything to go by, of downtime roleplay. One thing you could add is puzzles. For me, puzzles are teetering on the same edge of the cliff as traps. They can easily fall over backwards and seem overbearing, unfair, and unfun. They can just as easily fall forwards and seem way too easy, useless, and a complete waste of everyone's time. But if you can get that good balance, they can set the foundation for some of the best D&D sessions going. I'd like to note here that I am not a smart cookie. Any puzzles that I use are adapted from puzzles I found on Reddit, from Google, or from the Crystal Maze, or maybe not that last one. The first issue with puzzles is that some players straight up don't like them. If this is the case, there's not much you can really do about it. If you haven't run puzzles for your group before, then go for it, but try and gauge the reaction, and after the session, just talk to people and ask how they think the puzzle went. There's no point spending effort prepping future puzzles if you know they don't enjoy them. Issue number 2 is knowing how to split the scene between the players solving the puzzle and the characters solving the puzzle. If we treat this like every other task in D&D, you could make the players roll an intelligence check, and if they hit the DC, hooray, you solve the puzzle, let's move on to something else. But that's not very fun. On the other hand, if you leave it all to the players and don't let them roll anything, then the characters that they've lovingly built just don't really matter at all here. Now, this could be fine. It's definitely preferable to the previous just roll to complete the puzzle problem. The middle ground I like to use is as follows. Number 1, make sure there's some time pressure of some description. It brings up the tension when there's some time pressure, brings everyone's adrenaline up, and in my opinion, increases the overall enjoyment. Number 2, plan little skill challenges inside the puzzle. This can be really, really easy, just something like roll acrobatics to squeeze through the small gap to be able to press the button, and anything like that. It just gives the players an opportunity to let their characters shine at what they're good at. Number 3, if the players seem to be floundering around for a while, let them roll intelligence checks to get some hints for the puzzle. The hint they get can change based on the roll. Maybe you roll really high and you get part of the solution told to you. Your character sort of realizes it as they've been staring at this puzzle for a while. Or maybe a low roll means they just about have enough knowledge to know to disregard an incorrect solution that you think they were looking at. The last puzzle I ran used these ideas. I borrowed an idea of a light puzzle from Reddit. As the players were encountering this puzzle in the Underdark, I changed it from different coloured lights to different coloured mushrooms. The mushrooms would be spread around a large room with challenges to collect certain ones. I designed a map. This included thinking about the room that they would be in, location of the mushrooms, and the whole goal of the puzzle. I went with to unlock a door, so I chose where the door went and I chose how they'd do it. In this instance, I said there's coloured slots on the door that correspond to different mushrooms. The time issue that they faced was going to be some poison damage related to the mushrooms. Every 60 seconds in real time, they'd roll a constitution save with a very, very low pass DC, and on a fail, they'd take a small amount of poison damage. Every 60 seconds ended up feeling too often. I was talking more than them, so I adjusted it to every 3 minutes or so. And it worked really well. It was just enough to serve as a threat without putting the party in danger of wiping. Add in the skill challenges. I had a few easy things, like an out-of-reach floating platform, some sticky spider webs in the way, and not being able to touch one type of mushroom without having a random effect happen. For example, you can't smell anything for the next X hours. And I got a rough description of the room ready. It's always good to paint the picture properly, and for me, if I don't write it down, I completely forget it. So I wrote it down. And that was it. The players wander into the room, you hook them with a cool description of the place, and watch them go. I ended up offering them a roll for a hint every 3 times they took the mushroom damage, and I think that worked out as twice overall in the end. One was a really high roll, and one was reasonably low. From the high roll, they worked out one of the 6 components of the solution. The low roll, they knew a certain colour didn't go into a certain slot. Overall, it went really, really well. The whole 3-hour session was basically this, then investigating the new section of the tunnel that they unlocked, and then a chase scene where the denizens of the said new section of the tunnel were very angry with the party. If you wanted to know why, the party have no idea what they did wrong. It could have been all the murdering that they did, but I guess we'll never know.